Hey everyone, and welcome back to the deep dive. You know why you're here, right? To really get under the skin of a new topic, and today we're tackling power dressing.
That's right. And we've done a ton of research, so you don't have to.
Exactly.
We've got Pinterest boards bursting with visuals.
Oh, yeah. Those are good for getting a feel for the look.
For both men and women, too.
Nice.
And articles.
Articles from where?
Oh, from like fashion retailers.
Yeah.
You know, their blogs. And clothing brands, too.
I've seen those.
Yeah.
And then, of course, good old Wikipedia.
Wikipedia, yeah.
Gives us that sort of overview of the history and the social side of things. And we even found a few news articles.
Oh, cool. What kind of news articles?
Well, some of them touch on the psychology of clothes, like what we wear affects us.
Interesting. So we're going to cover all that then.
We're going to try and pull out like the really essential stuff about power dressing. You know.
Okay, so the history.
Yep.
Kind of key looks, what it means socially.
Socially, exactly.
The impact.
Psychologically.
And how it's all evolved.
To today.
Yeah. All right. That sounds like a lot.
Yeah, it's a big topic.
Let's dive in. So when we talk about power dressing, when did it really start?
I think most people point to the 70s and the 80s.
Okay.
Particularly in the U.S., in the world of like, you know, business and politics.
Right.
It was a time of like huge change.
It was, yeah.
More and more women were, you know, entering these professions.
That had always been for men, really, hadn't they?
Absolutely.
And wasn't that where John T. Molloy's books came out?
It was.
Like Dress for Success.
Yes.
I think there was a specific women Dress for Success as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dress for Success and Women Dress for Success. Those were like hugely influential.
Everyone was reading those, right?
Yeah.
Trying to crack the code.
Exactly. He laid out, you know, really specific guidelines.
For what to wear.
For what to wear, yes.
For work.
Often quite different for men and women.
Right. And he really pushed the skirted suit.
Okay.
You know, for women especially.
The skirted suit?
Almost like a uniform to project authority.
Really? I mean, it's fascinating, isn't it?
It is.
That power dressing for women early on seemed so focused on like minimizing femininity.
It did.
Like as if the workplace wasn't ready to accept female authority.
Right. And that femininity somehow undermined that.
Exactly. Yeah. So, okay. Skirted suits for authority. What did that look actually involve?
It was very conservative.
Okay.
Really heavily influenced by menswear.
Ah, okay.
Tailored suits, of course.
Oh.
Jackets with those big padded shoulders.
Oh, yeah.
You know, Claude Montana's designs were so important for that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, his designs just really defined that strong 80s look.
Those really bold shoulders.
Yes.
Yeah.
And roll neck sweaters.
Oh, right, yeah.
Skirts generally knee length.
Knee length.
Yeah. I mean, Montana's influence on fashion at the time was just huge.
It was, yeah.
Those exaggerated shapes.
Yeah.
They were like the power look.
They really were, yeah. So was the thinking for women that they almost had to dress like men to be taken seriously?
In a way, yes. But it went a bit further than that.
Okay.
For women, it was also about downplaying the female body.
Oh, I see.
You know, jackets were buttoned up, concealing the bust.
Right.
And skirts, you know, obviously marked the wearer as female. But the whole look was about
authority.
Yeah, authority and competence.
Competence, yeah.
So what about the fabrics and colors back then?
Oh, yeah. What were they wearing?
Well, it was all about, you know, projecting this serious professional image.
Right.
So not a lot of like fussy patterns.
No.
More like classic pinstripes.
Pinstripes, yeah.
Houndstooth.
Right.
Plaids.
Plaid.
And the colors were quite limited too.
Okay.
You know, lots of blues.
Hues, yeah.
Black, navy, gray.
Right.
Definitely no bright colors.
No.
Or pastels.
Or pastels, right.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's like the 70s and 80s. But Wikipedia mentioned the Chanel suit.
Yes.
From way back in the 20s as being kind of an early version of this.
It's a really key link.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Chanel suit.
Yeah.
With its fitted skirt and collarless jacket.
Right.
Often with braid trim.
Yeah, I've seen those, yeah.
And those metallic buttons.
Yes.
It was a totally new thing.
It was, yeah. The first suit designed for women.
Oh, wow.
For the workplace.
Not just adapting a man's suit.
No.
Wow.
Oh, so you know before that, women's professional clothes.
Oh, they were so restricted.
Yeah.
All those corsets and things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The Chanel suit, it was comfortable, allowed for movement.
Right.
And that was so important because women were
going to work.
Yes, starting to take on these roles after World War I.
Yeah.
But it still had those masculine elements
Okay.
to project authority.
Right.
But it was still feminine, you know?
So a real blend.
A blend. Yeah, interesting.
And as the costume historian Harold Coda has said,
Oh, yeah.
it helped women downplay the kind of, overt femininity
Right.
that might have worked against them.
In a male-dominated world.
Exactly.
Interesting.
It was about saying, I'm capable.
Yeah.
Not just, I look nice.
I look nice. Yeah, yeah.
It's interesting, isn't it?
It is.
This idea that what you wear can really affect how people see your abilities.
It can, absolutely.
Yeah. So after those early decades, how did power dressing evolve?
Well, the late 80s were a real turning point.
Okay.
More women, were established in their careers,
Right.
reaching those top positions.
Yeah.
The need to just copy men's style lessened.
I
You saw like a real reinvention of the women's suit.
Okay.
It wasn't just about, feminizing men's clothes.
Right.
It was designers started experimenting with fabrics,
Okay.
cuts,
Yeah.
colors, details.
Details.
It became about expressing both authority
And
and femininity. Femininity, right?
rather than choosing one over the other,
Right.
So,
women were more free to be themselves within those professional settings.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
They started bringing in more feminine elements.
Okay, like what?
Well, blouses, for example.
Boss is right.
But with interesting necklines
Oh, yeah.
made from luxurious fabrics,
Oh, like Tia.
silks,
Silks, yes.
or polyester satin.
Right, polyester satin. Yeah.
And those bold colors that we
Mhm.
associate with the 80s,
yeah.
they definitely became part of power dressing.
Did they? I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
So it moved away from blending in
It did.
to like making a statement.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You had those suits in bright colors
Yeah.
with those big silhouettes.
Yeah.
It was about being seen.
And having a presence.
Yes.
Right.
And what about the 90s?
Oh, yeah, the 90s. Wikipedia talked about that as like another step
It was.
towards a more feminine style.
Yes, the 90s really cemented that shift.
Okay.
Fabrics like silk and satin
Yeah.
really became staples.
Mhm.
The shapes were less structured,
Right.
sometimes even a bit sensual.
Okay.
It was really breaking away from those old cliches
Yeah, yeah.
about what power dressing had to be.
Right.
And even in the 2000s,
Yeah.
with those more relaxed office dress codes,
Yeah.
you can see that as a step towards where we are today
I see. Yeah.
with power dressing.
So it's been quite a journey then.
It has.
From those early days of trying to look like a man to something so much
More expressive.
more expressive. Yeah. So what was the impact of all this? I mean, socially.
Well, power dressing really helped to create this new image
Oh.
of the working woman,
Okay.
making her mark in society
Yeah.
as women started reaching those high-powered positions.
Liking that glass ceiling.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Power dressing became a way to build their image,
I see.
and make sure they were recognized.
So it was a way of saying, I'm here.
Yeah, I'm a professional and I belong here.
I belong.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was about moving away from those traditional ideas about women and fashion,
Right.
that it was just about aesthetics.
Right. Just about looking good.
Yeah. Power dressing was about saying,
This is who I am.
this is who I am.
And take me seriously.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was locating power
At a personal level.
at the body level, yeah.
Yeah.
And, of course, that had a knock-on effect on self-esteem and confidence.
Of course. Yeah. Because if you feel good,
Exactly.
you project that.
Yeah.
And that brings us to the psychology.
Yes.
One of the articles talked about how power dressing for women was also about like,
Downplaying sexuality.
yes,
Yes.
to gain authority in the workplace.
Yeah. It was a key factor.
It's interesting, isn't it?
It is.
Because there is this perception.
That women's clothing is inherently more sexualized
Yes.
than men's.
Even now.
Even now, yes.
Yeah, it's like the female form has always been.
Associated with the things outside of work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So power dressing was kind of pushing back against that.
It was, especially in those early days.
Right.
It was about minimizing
Sexuality.
anything overtly sexual in your clothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the blog post mentioned some really interesting psychological concepts like enclothed cognition
Yes.
and the halo effect.
Uh-huh.
Can you explain those a bit?
Sure.
So enclothed cognition.
Enclothed cognition is this idea that what we wear actually affects
our brains, our thinking.
our thinking, yeah.
Yes. Like how?
Well, there's research that suggests that formal clothes can actually make you think more abstractly,
Oh, wow.
while casual clothes encourage like more concrete thinking.
Oh, that's fascinating.
It is, isn't it?
So putting on that suit,
Yes.
it's not just you feeling more professional.
No.
It's actually...
changing how you approach things?
Yeah.
It's fascinating.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
What about the halo effect?
So the halo effect is about first impressions.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you make a good first impression,
Right.
like with your appearance,
Okay.
people then assume other good things about you.
Like you're competent.
Exactly.
Or a good leader.
Mm-hmm.
Even if they haven't seen you do anything yet.
Even before you've proven yourself. Yeah.
Right, right, right.
It's about setting a positive frame.
So it's about setting the stage.
Yes.
Okay. And Power Sutra talked about color psychology as well.
Right. Color is really important.
Yeah.
It sends all these nonverbal messages.
Like what are some examples?
Well, black, for example.
What? Yeah.
That's often associated with sophistication
Right.
and authority.
Yeah.
So it's a popular choice.
For leaders, yeah.
Yeah, for leaders, exactly.
Okay.
Red?
Red.
Red conveys energy and confidence.
Confidence, yeah.
So maybe wear that for presentations.
Oh, worry.
Or if you need to be assertive.
Yeah. Okay.
And blue. Blue is associated with trust and reliability.
Okay.
Because a good all-rounder, really.
For most professional situations.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's amazing, isn't it?
it is.
How much these little choices matter.
Yeah.
And it's not just how others see us.
Yeah,
It's how we see ourselves, too, isn't it?
exactly.
The blogs talked about that a lot.
Yeah, if you're dressed well, you just feel better, don't you?
You do.
More confident.
Right.
And you act more confidently.
Yeah.
Power Sutra called the right outfit psychological armor.
Oh, I love that. Psychological armor
Yeah,
to face those tricky business situations.
exactly.
Yeah.
So how do we get from there to modern power dressing?
Right, because it feels so much looser now, doesn't it?
It does.
Than those very rigid early rules.
Yeah, modern power dressing is all about mixing authority and authenticity.
Okay.
It's about being professional, but also being yourself.
Right.
So, you might see a tailored blazer,
Yeah.
but with sneakers.
Oh, yeah.
Or a dress with a bold print,
Okay.
but with a classic trench coat.
Yeah, yeah.
It's about that balance.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not about just following rules.
Right.
It's about feeling good
And comfortable.
and comfortable, exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
And, adding those personal touches,
Yeah.
like a bright silk scarf.
Yeah.
Or a cool leather briefcase.
Right?
D2 Line even said that modern power dressing isn't about specific clothes at all.
Use it.
It's more about an attitude.
Really?
Yeah, what makes you feel confident and powerful.
So you could even wear jeans and a t-shirt.
Well, if it's styled well
Okay, yeah.
and if it gives you that confidence.
That inner confidence?
Yeah, so it's a real shift, isn't it?
It is.
From trying to fit in with a male look
Yeah.
to really embracing femininity
Yeah. Yeah.
within a professional context.
Right.
Yeah.
So dress for success still applies.
It does, but it's not just about the clothes.
It's about
It's about the feeling.
the feeling
Projecting that, confidence and capability.
through what you wear.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there's even research that shows that wearing business clothes can improve your thinking.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's a real benefit.
Yeah.
Even without all those strict rules.
Exactly.
Okay, so for our listeners who want to master this modern power dressing,
Right.
what are your top tips?
Well, firstly, don't be afraid to let your personality show.
Okay.
Choose clothes you love.
Yeah.
That make you feel good.
Yeah.
And always dress for the occasion.
So be appropriate.
Be appropriate, yes.
Right.
It shows you understand the context.
Yeah, yeah.
And comfort is key.
Oh, yes. Especially for long days.
Especially for long days, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And invest in good quality,
Right.
well-made clothes that fit well.
Yeah.
Avoid those cheap fabrics.
Right.
And choose classic styles over trends.
Timeless pieces.
Timeless pieces,
Ah.
yeah. They'll last longer, and you can wear them more.
Okay. Good advice. Good advice. Anything else?
Oh, yeah. Pay attention to fit and comfort.
Right? So nothing too tight.
Nothing too tight
Or restrictive.
or restrictive. Nothing that needs adjusting all the time.
Right, right.
Don't be afraid of color,
Okay.
but, keep it appropriate for work.
Right.
Build your wardrobe around those classic pieces
Right.
that you can mix and match.
Yeah, yeah.
And shoes.
Shoes, yes.
Don't underestimate shoes.
They're so important, aren't they?
They are. They make such a difference to how you feel.
And how you stand.
Yes, and how people see you.
Yeah, yeah.
There's even a statistic that says that hiring managers really notice shoes.
They do.
Yeah.
I believe that, yeah.
So
The right shoes can really make a look, can't they?
it can.
And they can give you that extra bit of confidence.
Exactly.
Yeah. Now, when we talk about power dressing, there are some real icons
There are.
that come to mind.
Yes.
Margaret Thatcher's always mentioned
Oh, yes.
as one of the first.
She was a real pioneer.
Yeah.
You know her style.
Those skirt suits
Skirt suits.
with the big shoulders.
The big shoulders, yes.
The pussy bow
The
blouses.
pussy bow blouses.
The pearls.
And the pearls.
Yeah.
She really set the template.
For women in politics.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was that image of, conservative power,
Right.
but still feminine.
Yes.
And apparently she was really influenced by John T. Molloy.
Oh, really? By the dress for success guy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And Hillary Clinton, too.
Yes. Hillary Clinton's a more modern example.
Yeah, with her pantsuits.
Yet she kind of continued that tradition.
Didn't she?
Yeah.
Of using clothes to project authority.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's not just real life, is it?
No.
Pop culture's been huge for power dressing.
It has those 80s soap operas.
Oh, yeah.
Dallas and Dynasty.
Yeah, Listen Dynasty, yeah.
All those shoulder pads and the jewelry.
Yeah.
And Dallas really brought back bright colors.
Oh, really?
For women's clothes.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what about Working Girl?
Oh, yeah, that's a classic.
It shows two different approaches, doesn't it?
It does.
You power dressing.
You've got Catherine the executive.
Right.
All about elegance.
Elegant, yeah.
Those sharp shoulders.
Yeah.
And then you have Tess,
Yeah.
the up-and-comer.
Yeah.
She makes it her own.
Yeah.
She even wears a long, black, sparkly dress in one scene.
Does she really? I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Wow.
But she still owns it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's about being powerful.
But being yourself.
But being yourself, yes.
Yeah.
And then there are films like The Iron Lady.
The Iron Lady.
Yeah, all about Thatcher's style.
Right.
And even today, leaders like Kamala Harris,
Yeah.
they're all using power dressing
To project authority.
to project authority, yeah.
It's so interesting, isn't it?
It is?
How it's changed over time.
Yeah.
But also how it's stayed the same. So as we wrap up this deep dive, what are the key things you want our listener to remember?
Well, I think the biggest change is that it's gone from mimicking men
Right.
to being about finding your own style.
Yeah.
That makes you feel confident and authentic.
Yeah.
It's less about rules,
Right.
more about psychology.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
So it's not just what you wear.
No.
It's how it makes you feel.
Yes.
And how that affects how you act.
And how people see you.
And how people see you, right.
Yeah.
So it's a tool, really, isn't it?
It is.
To help you be your best self.
Yes.
Professionally.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's brilliant. That's
Yeah.
a great overview. And it makes me think, if you're listening to this right now,
Yeah.
think about what you wear
Uh-huh.
and how it makes you feel.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to experiment.
Right.
Find what gives you that confidence.
Yeah.
That feeling of power.
Exactly.
What's your power piece?
Yeah. What makes you feel ready to take on the world?
Yeah. Think about it.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you for joining us for this deep dive.
It's been a pleasure.
We'll see you next time.